Hi YouTube, this is Snack. Today we are going to build a 50,000 rupees gaming PC. This PC can play most games at 1080p with high settings and is also fairly upgradable. The pricing in India is very unfair when compared to US. Most parts cost 0.5 times more when compared to US, so I do recommend getting your parts from America. But keep in mind that most manufacturers do not offer global warranty. Without any further ado, let's get into the build with the processor. For the processor, I went with the AMD FX6300. This processor has 6 cores, which is utilized by games nowadays, and a 3.5 GHz stock clock with up to 4 GHz turbo. I chose AMD over Intel as AMD offers much better bang for buck. However, Intel's alternative will be the i3-4130, which is actually better if used only with games, but it is not as overclockable and will struggle with applications like Adobe After Effects and XSplit, which use more than 2 cores. So if you're into things like video editing and live streaming, AMD will definitely be a better choice. For the motherboard, I chose the Gigabyte GA78LMT USB 3. This motherboard is pretty good for the price. It is in no way an overclocking motherboard, but if you're lucky, you may be able to get some slight overclocks. It also comes with 4 RAM slots and USB 3.0, which is good to see in a budget motherboard. I went with a cheap motherboard as in a budget build, most of the money should be put towards the graphic card, as components like motherboards are irrelevant in performance inside games. For the RAM, I went with 8GB of Corsair Vengeance DDR3 1600MHz. RAM prices are very high right now because of an accident and will hopefully go down in the future when DDR4 is released. But however, Corsair is arguably the best manufacturer of RAM and 8GB is plenty of RAM for gaming. You may be able to get away with 4GB of RAM, but games are starting to utilize more than 4GB of RAM nowadays. So it would be wise to go with 8GB of RAM now rather than to upgrade in the future. For our hard drive, I decided to pick the Seagate Barracuda 1TB. I picked the Seagate Barracuda over the WD Blue because of the price. I would suggest to pick up whichever one is the cheapest, but both are great hard drives. 1TB may not be plenty for games, so I do recommend picking up a secondary hard drive in the near future. And also, I couldn't include a SSD in this build, as in this budget, an SSD is not possible. But I do recommend picking up a 64GB SSD for the OS. For the graphic card, I decided to go with the XFX R9270X. The graphic card is the most important part of any gaming PC and almost single-handedly decides the performance you're going to get inside games. The R9270X is a great value card, and this particular XFX version also comes with a free copy of Battlefield 4, which means you're basically getting 3000 rupees off on your graphic card. You can go with the cheaper R9270 without losing much performance if money is a problem. If you prefer Nvidia over AMD for graphic cards, the alternative will be the GTX 760. But keep in mind that it is significantly expensive, but the gain will be very minimal. For our case, I decided to go with the Cooler Master HALF 912. HALF stands for High Airflow Series. This is a good entry-level case. It's made by Cooler Master, who is a quality manufacturer of power supply. And as the name suggests, you're gonna get good airflow features with it. It also has plenty of GPU clearance if you like to upgrade your GPU in the future. There's also a windowed version of this case available if you like to solve your hardware, but it is a little bit more expensive. You can buy a cheaper case like the Cooler Master K380 if you like to save some money, but I don't really recommend doing so, as this case, according to me, looks really badass and should impress your friends. For the power supply, I chose the Seasonic Eco 500W. Seasonic is the best manufacturer of power supplies and they maintain a very high quality standard. 500 watts is plenty of power even when the CPU and GPU are overclocked and/or you would like to add more hard drives in the future. I will not recommend replacing the power supply as this is the best power supply available at this price range. I unfortunately couldn't post a proper image of this power supply as this is not very popular. This power supply is based off the Seasonic M12II, but it reduces the quality of components a little bit. So yeah, DVD drives are pretty optional these days in gaming PC, but are also very cheap. If you like to get one, I would go with a Samsung DVD drive. It retails for around 1000 rupees. If you think you're going to use this DVD drive frequently, I would suggest you to spend the extra money and go with the Asus one, as that one has better quality. The total cost of this build with the DVD drive included is a little under 50,000 rupees. If you would like to see a build for your budget, please request me one and I'll try to make. Please like, comment and subscribe. It helps our channel a lot. Also, feel free to share your thoughts using the comments section given below. Peace.